Max Chester in his Couta boat Zephyr, starting in race 3 of the Nationals, saw that the right was the favored side, so in a fleet of 30 starters, he opted for a port start, against the rest of the boats going left and starting on starboard. It paid off. Bet he won't do it again this weekend, in the Portsea Cup, as there are 60 Couta boats competing.
Go behind. Yeah, behind 215. Go behind. Give 20 seconds. Just keep it up a little bit. Keep it up a little bit. 13 seconds. Go behind. So get ready. 6 seconds. Behind the yellow boat. Screw it up. Right on his heel. Right on his heel. Let's go.
You're a brave man, Max. Well done. This is the Sailing World on Water, January 8, 2021. Boris Hermann has mended his torn mainsail on Sea Explorer and is currently east of the Falkland Islands. The drive to win the America's Cup is huge. It's not a game for the light-hearted. We show Tay 2020 season wrap of the Circolo Vela Arco North Lake Garda. And they had plenty of action. Franck and Charles and their crew of the Edmund De Rothschild are once again on standby for their attempt to break the Julues Verne Trophy record. INEOS Team UK's Inside Tech series of videos, this time features the structural testing of their AC-75 yacht. Thomas Coville of France leads the crew of Super Trimaran Sodibo. They also have the Julues Verne Trophy record in their sights. They just need the right weather window.
So it's looking quite interesting in terms of the weather for Boris Hermann on board Sea Explorer Yacht Club de Monaco in the next few days, the next 4 or 5 days or so. At the moment he's sailing just to the east of the Falkland Islands down here, and he's reaching along in this wind generated from this high pressure, which is rotating around the system like this. We can see he's currently got about 600 nautical miles to the leader, but in the next few days it's looking like there's some good chances for that to compress, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. But we can see already that that Charlie Dullen on board a Pivia has lost quite a few miles to the second pack, and especially to Tom Orion linked out. And that's basically because this high pressure is just moving really slowly right in the path of where they want to be. And it's slowly moving like this, but it's really not getting out their way fast enough for them to stay in good wind. But if we skip forward to 36 hours, we can look at how the situation's changed. So the high pressure has finally moved off a little bit away towards the Antarctic exclusion zone, and we can see that new weather system, the new low pressure which has formed off the Brazilian coast, has started to move in. And this is a really fast moving system, and it's going to very quickly go towards this way, towards where the high pressure is right now. And if we look at the routings which we have overlaid here, we've got Yannick Besteven up here on board Maitrecock. So he's managed to sail in this good easterly wind and make a lot of north while that high pressure system was there for him, and go quite far north. Charlie Dallon has had to search and find this low pressure system to then find the new wind and make his way north as well. So he'll have lost a few miles to Maitrecock, and Boris is still heading towards the high pressure, and he'll probably be looking for a bit of a header to then tack up towards the north, and probably meet with this low pressure system as it moves towards the east. So at this point in time, the fleet is still quite separated. There's not much change to the overall positions. But if we skip forward to Sunday at midnight UTC, so 84 hours from now, we can see that low pressure system has moved right over here. Boris has sailed around the edge of it and is still sailing nicely in this westerly breeze that's generated from it. But we can see what's happened to Maitrecock and Apivia in the north. With the moving away of these systems, he's left with this high pressure that's developing here, and really not much wind or not much opportunity to sail through this light wind kind of line here. There's not really many options to get past it, so they'll really slow down here and have to fight their way north. And all during this time, Boris will have this good westerly wind and be able to catch up quite a few miles on the boats here. And if we skip forward to Monday, so 108 hours from now, we can see that distance to first place is reduced to 300 nautical miles, and could potentially keep doing that in the next few days. So really there's a good chance to see a lot of compression in the fleet, and plenty of opportunities for places to still change before they reach the doldrums.
America's Cup for me has always been an ambition to win the Cup for Britain, where it all started. You know, we've never won the America's Cup. We've won just about everything else in sport, but the America's Cup is the one thing that we've never won. Kind of hurts, really, and it's 170 odd years of hurt. So, like I said, that's our motivation to try and put that right.
When you walk into the door of the New York Yacht Club and you come in the foyer and go up the stairs, there's this table that is empty, but it has a light shining down on top of it. That is the void of the America's Cup. It's only replaced by one thing.
The America's Cup wouldn't be anything without New York Yacht Club and the history that they've created around the event over the years. And to hold the America's Cup for 132 years is no small feat, and it's hard to imagine it's going to be repeated anytime soon.
When you explain to people America's Cup is actually the oldest trophy in sport, they don't even know that, and it's hard to believe. But at the same time, if it's still here after more than 100 years, there is something cool behind it.
Thanks, Bruce. On you go.
You look at a team like Team New Zealand, they've been in the America's Cup game now for 30 years. And okay, the people have changed over those years, but that learning, that collective, the history that Team New Zealand now has is massive. And so that's really what we need to try and build in the UK to have a winning America's Cup team.
International sport's oldest prize leaves the United States, this time to a different down under, New Zealand!
95 was a huge win, really, because it really taught us a lot of lessons that if you're going to win the America's Cup, obviously you've got to have the fastest boat, you've got to spend more time on design, development, technology.
Team New Zealand retains the heavyweight crown of world sailing.
It's a young fella growing up, just seeing the whole country get behind, a sporting event where New Zealand's really taking on the world was, something that's pretty special, and I think always something that I really wanted to be involved with.
The New Zealanders paddling into the history books.
It's been an amazing part of my career to help Team New Zealand bring the Cup back to New Zealand in 2017. So, it's something that we're now, trying to keep it in.
Well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to be judged by your results. The results are going to do the talking, and, that's going to apply here for sure.
À partir de mercredi soir, de toute façon, on peut dire qu'on est capable de partir de Ouessant.
Et qu'il a une fenêtre qui dure 48 voire 72 heures, quoi. Le plus important, c'est d'essayer d'être synchro avec ce qui se passe dans le sud, quoi. Avec l'anticyclone qui se déplace de l'est en est.
Tu pars avec du nord-nord-ouest et du coup, tu es en un bord comme ça le long. Dans la situation générale, la première chose qu'on regarde évidemment c'est la fenêtre pour l'Atlantique Nord. Et le but c'est d'utiliser cette dépression pour aller dans le sud. Plus le temps passe, plus ce flux il est quand même, c'est une vraie autoroute pour aller dans le sud. Donc c'est pas qu'on va partir parce que surtout on va décider en fonction de ce qui se passe dans le sud.
On s'est fixé d'arriver en moins de 5 jours à l'équateur. Et là c'est le cas puisque les routages sont beaucoup en moins de 5 jours. Et en moins de 11 jours et demi au Cap des Aiguilles sur les routages du moins au départ. Donc c'est plutôt une bonne fenêtre, un peu compliquée dans le nord, mais après dans l'Atlantique Sud, si ça se déroule comme prévu, c'est presque une des meilleures qu'on ait eues depuis le départ, donc c'est plutôt positif.
Et mardi soir, on a effectivement différentes options possibles.
On attaque le début du 3e mois, ça fait déjà plus de 2 mois qu'on attend la fenêtre.
Ça va se passer cette semaine, donc entre demain et puis vendredi ou samedi au plus tard. Donc il va falloir effectivement monter en pression petit à petit, affiner un peu les derniers préparatifs. Le bateau est quasiment prêt, en tout cas chargé en avitaillement. Il reste encore un peu de frais à mettre à bord.
Une situation un peu plus classique de départ qui s'installe avec beaucoup de portants, on a un gros anticyclone et des vents de nord globalement.
Well, we structurally test the boat to make sure that it's safe. We want to make sure that when the boat goes out in the water, the sailors can put the boat through its paces. The actual process that we use with the test is we put the hull upside down. We support it on a tripod on the mast ball and then we pull against some very large weights. We used hydraulic cylinders, which are typically attached to all the hard points in the boat, and then we pull against those hard points. We're typically testing two components of the boat, well, two aspects of the boat. The first is the design aspect and the second would be the build aspect of the boat. And we take the boat up to loads where we would identify any problems with the design, and if there are any flaws in the structure that would also become apparent during the structural testing. These boats are complex to build. Sometimes build errors can creep in and we want to make sure that we avoid any structural failures. The boat's in development and design for well over 18 months. The structural testing program is an integral part of that process. If we have to repair the boat, it can be quite a lengthy process, and obviously that has a detrimental impact on the development program. 5 to 7 days of really intense work, intense pressure. All the assumptions that we make in the process are also stress tested at the same time as the boat, so everyone's under major pressure. To try and do it when the shed is quietest, which normally involves doing the testing at night. When the boat's out in the water, there's a lot of noise and so on, and if we're in a busy shed as well, it's very difficult to identify any noises that shouldn't be there. Setup typically involves a lot of sensors. We'll have load cells, strain gauges, pressure transducers that enable us to keep track of all the loads and the response of the structure. The tests involve very large loads, well over 50 tons in some cases. Well, structural testing improves the performance by allowing us to develop a lot of confidence in the boat early on. When we developed RB1, it was a brand new boat, entirely new class of boat, so when we went sailing on the first few days, we took it very carefully. RB2, we didn't have the luxury of that. We had to make sure that we could get out here and start to sail the boat at its maximum potential very quickly. So it was very important that the structural testing covered all the primary load cases so that when the guys got here, we could put the boat on the water and start to sail the boat in real anger straight away. I'm very proud to be involved and very grateful for the opportunity to work on this type of boat, a brand new class of boat, a very exciting boat, a very demanding boat structurally. These boats are exceptionally light for the amount of load that they need to carry. We're operating at the very cutting edge of structural technology when it comes to these boats.
lui, mais ça ne veut pas dire que c'est lui qui prend toutes les décisions, il nous laisse pas mal d'autonomie, et du coup c'est un équilibre qu'il a réussi à, je trouve, très bien trouver.
Je repars avec un autre système, t'es pas dans un truc comme ça. Ce que j'avais peur, c'est de voir ça là.
Il est vraiment excellent dans ce rôle de skipper en course, comme il l'est aussi d'ailleurs en manager à terre pour toute l'équipe. Sa force, c'est vraiment d'accorder la confiance aux équipiers et je pense que c'est ça la marque d'un bon skipper et d'un bon manager.
C'est pareil le barreau là. Le barreau il va descendre petit à petit. Et on va rester quasiment tout le temps avec... c'est un bon indicateur. Ouais. Si elle nous rattrape ou pas. Et là on démarre à 1017.
En fait c'est une relation de confiance quoi. Quand l'humain il sent la confiance, il peut faire des super belles choses. Et après bien sûr si on le bride, si on est tout le temps sur son dos, etc. Voilà, il se met à paniquer, à stresser et à faire du sale boulot quoi. Et de temps en temps il est obligé de venir, tirer les oreilles, mais ça fait partie de son rôle. C'est lui le garant du bateau, c'est lui le chef d'orchestre on va dire.
Tu vois, il lui a demandé d'abattre de 3,5 pour abattre plus pour rester.
Avec Thomas, c'est que déjà il partage énormément, donc tout ce qui est moi ce que je connaissais pas du tout c'est la gestion des pilotes automatiques à bord de ces engins, et lui il a une expérience énorme là-dessus et hyper pertinent. Là, ce qui est étonnant, c'est qu'on est vachement bas en butée haute et butée basse.
Ouais, alors,
basse surtout.
Ça, c'est la gaine aussi.
La gestion justement de cet équipage de 8 personnes. Comment profiter d'être à 8 ? Comment profiter d'être un peu plus nombreux que par exemple Gitana qui veulent partir à 6 ou Edek qui est à 6. Et on sent que si on était moins, ça serait plus dur. Et ça s'est senti même dès les premiers jours parce qu'on a réussi à pousser le bateau et être à l'aise et à tourner et à répéter et que tout s'enchaîne bien. Et je pense que Thomas était vachement a vachement de rigueur là-dedans. Ce qui fait que si jamais il sent que ça dérape, qu'il y en a qui fatiguent ou qu'il y en a qui dépassent les trucs, etc., il nous le répétait le soir. Il a dit les gars, n'oubliez pas manger, d'aller dormir.
J'ai la table numéro 3 en terrasse. J'ai demandé un duo de bœuf, purée du potager.
Il arrive à rester en retrait du groupe de temps en temps et à écouter, observer et forcément intervenir quand il faut intervenir aussi pour garder un bon rythme entre la performance et aussi des petits moments un peu plus cool à bord pour garder pour que sur le long terme le groupe reste soudé et que ça fonctionne sur un tour du monde.
Pendant les 2 jours on va être dans la boucaille comme ça, dans le fond chaud, il va faire chaud, il va faire froid quand on est en panique. Là tu vas prendre la climatisation qui va se mettre en route.
Et il veille sur tout le monde, il a quand même une énorme expérience de faire du tour du monde, de naviguer dans le mer du Sud. Comme moi j'ai froid aux pieds avec mes bottes, il veille sur moi quand quelques-uns ont mal aux genoux, quelques-uns veulent repasser, c'est vraiment lui qui veille sur un peu tout le monde. Il passe toute sa vie dans le lit avec Tack, même son lit est là. Donc c'est vraiment lui qui veille sur tout, être sûr que personne se trouve dans une situation trop compliquée, trop tard.
On t'aime quand même, ouais, t'es pas obligé de parler à la caméra tout seul. On n'est pas là, désespère pas, c'est bon.
Il y a un truc que j'ai appris, c'est de féliciter les gens. C'est un truc qui fait beaucoup et c'est un truc dont j'avais pas l'habitude.
34,27. Pas mal. Pas mal pour un petit jeune.